Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. Today I want to show you the top 5 budget builds that are able to farm Travincal. I've did a lot of testing and tested out even more than these variants, but I found that these 5 were the best builds if you want to use a new build from patch 2.4 that wasn't possible before, and to run Travincal on a budget if you are starting out as a ladder character and are just beginning the game and want to farm a spot where there can be a lot of good runes. Travincal drops up to Gem Rune. They are dropping a lot of magic items and uniques and sets and a lot of gold, so it's a very good spot to farm. That's why I wanted to test out different budget builds, and budget for me means nothing high rune, of course, nothing above a Lem rune. I think only one build is even using Lem runes. Most of the time it's way less than that. Usually it's a smoke rune in the body armor, it's a lower helmet, it's a spirit shield, it's some rare boots, gloves, belts, anything you can find on Nightmare and normal if it's a unique. But you can check out the individual build videos. I will have them in the description below and get more detail on the builds and on the gear I'm using. So with that being said, let's get right into it. The top 5 budget builds for Travincal farming. So first up is the Blade Fury Assassin build on number 5. This is a very fun but also challenging build, which only lacks attack rating to be really excelling and be higher on this list. The attack rating bonus from the Blade Fury skill itself is only a flat 10%, unfortunately, so you have to make up for the lack of attack rating in any other way, like use an Act 3 Mercenary for the enchant, use an Act 2 Mercenary with Blessed Aim. Both boost your attack rating by roughly 300%. You can also use the Angelic combo of Amulet and Ring set, which should boost your attack rating by about 850 to 900 flat, or the Hesarus 2-set piece belt and boots, which also boost your attack rating about 900. We'll be using Blade Fury as your main damage dealing skill, supplemented by Fade, Blade Shield and Venom, but a Shadow Master fully maxed out is very important because he will block and soak up all the damage from the council members, and if he does die, then you can just recast it because they also reduce the casting delay to a bare minimum. So this is a pretty nice but challenging build, but it's not as fast as the other ones, so that's why it's number 5 on the list. So next up on our list is the Fist of Heaven Paladin, coming in on number 4. And here your main skills are Fist of Heaven, of course, and also the Conviction Aura, because it lowers the lightning resistance of the enemies tremendously. If it's maxed out, I think it's 140 or 150, which is maximum. And Fist of Heaven itself does single target lightning damage, and it emits a lot of holy bolts. And holy bolts do holy magic damage, and they are not boosted up by Conviction. But this is still the max damage approach because you still want to boost your Fist of Heaven pretty fast build to run Travincal faster than the Blade Fury Assassin. You don't even necessarily need your Mercenary, which most of the time dies anyways, so you can do it without it, and you can just hang back and maybe pull the enemies out first and kill them in small segments. So the Fist of Heaven Paladin in number 4. At number 3 on this list, the Singer Barbarian, which is not 100% exactly a new build because it existed already, but they significantly boosted up Warcry and gave it plus 30% damage and also lowered the mana cost. And this build is enhanced, in my opinion, by the use of Grimward with the synergy Find Potion, because if you put on the Grimward, you do up to 120% more damage to every monster in its radius. So that's why this build is even better now, and from my point of view it's also more secure. What you want to do is use maybe a teleport staff, get right up into the council and try to hit as many council members as possible with your Warcry, and when the first council member dies, you can use your Grimward. The other council members will have the debuff Fleeing, but you will be spamming your Warcry still, so they are not fleeing at all, but get increased damage. But this is pretty nice and it was pretty fast runs, and that's why it comes in number 3. On the second place on my list is the Werebear Summoner Druid with the main skills Shockwave is also your main damage source, Grizzly for a tank, and Spirit Wolf for additional damage and also cannon fodder. It's important to note that I'm also using a Lawbringer Mercenary from Act 5 because of the Decrepify procs, which boosts your shockwave damage and also gets rid of physical immunes. And this build was very easy and very nice to play. It's similar to the Singer Barb, but it's even more safe because you can even pick the council members one by one if you like, or pick on more than one at a time. And as you can see, I am having no problems, and if my summons die I can resummon them. My mercenary survives pretty much because the council members get stunned and get a lot of damage from Shockwave. I was really enjoying this build and I think it's very strong even in a budget variant. So that's why it's number 2 on this list. The final build and the number 1 is the Plague Javazon. It uses Plague Javelin for the damage output, Valkyrie for tanking and soaking up damage, also Decoy for tanking and soaking up damage, and an Act 1 Mercenary. This is the best of the budget builds I tested and I've put it on this list because it has the damage, it has the survivability, it has the safety, and it does not need any gear whatsoever. I bet you can even play this build naked with just a javelin in your hand because all your damage comes from your skills and all your capabilities of taking damage comes also from your skills from Valkyrie. So this is a very nice build and it's super budget and very safe to farm the council with. So that for me is the number 1 in terms of budget builds farming Travincal. So that was it for the top 5 new builds that are able to farm Travincal on a budget. Again, if you want to see more about each of these individual builds, check out the links in the description below. I will put in the links to my other videos and I made videos to all of these builds and more, so be sure to check that out. My personal favorite is the Blade Fury Assassin, not because it's on place 5, but it's a very challenging build to play, and if you manage to play it well, it can be a lot of fun. Also, it scales very well into the mid game. I also have a video up showing that when you are using full Natalia set, for example. So maybe I will be starting out later with that. But for now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, there will be more videos to come. Until then, good luck and have fun, and see you next time.